In this video, I will give you every player that you need to succeed for the afternoon only slate on FanDuel for week 6 of the NFL in 5 minutes or less. My name's Quick Pick Nick, and having simulated over 100,000 different lineup combinations using every player available from both games, I'm here to give you your locks and lotteries for this Sunday afternoon on October 18th, 2020. Before we get started, I need to point out that if you're looking for a main slate lineup including all 11 games on Sunday, that primary picks video is linked in the description below. This video includes recommendations applying exclusively to the 4 p.m. only slate, meaning selections may or may not carry over to other windows. With that all being said, the first lock for this lineup is one of those players who I would consider a universal lock, meaning that if he's available in a different slate or window, you take that player, that being Ryan Fitzpatrick at quarterback. While it's undeniable that Aaron Rodgers is having yet another Aaron Rodgers caliber season, Fitzpatrick is also putting up his own magical numbers, throwing for at least 2 touchdowns in 3 of his games and rushing for 2 of his own this season. The main pull for Fitzmagic here though is due to the FanDuel pricing, as he's a whole $1,000 cheaper than Rodgers, and according to my model should nevertheless be able to put up similar numbers to that MVP candidate up there in Wisconsin. Following the lock at quarterback, 2 other locks that my model found at running back are Aaron Jones and Myles Gaskin. While Jones is rather expensive on FanDuel, there is no comparing him to any other running back in this slate. Take the number 2 option, Ronald Jones for example, in a comparison with Aaron Jones, and I say number 2 because Le'Veon Bell is gone, just like the chances for the Jets winning a game this season. Aaron Jones' lowest scoring game this season came in weeks 1 and 3, where Jones put up 15.6 fantasy points exactly in each. Put that side by side with Ronald Jones' highest scoring game of just 15.8, and it becomes clear that Aaron Jones' fantasy floor is the fantasy ceiling for most other running backs, with nobody else in this slate even coming close to being on par with Aaron Jones. Gaskin was chosen as the second running back mainly due to the Dolphins' favorable matchup against the Jets and the high probability that Miami will have control over much of the pacing of the game, with a Vegas spread of 8.5 points in favor of the Dolphins. Running out the clock shouldn't be a problem for Gaskin either, as he scored more than 10 fantasy points against tougher defenses this season, including San Francisco and Buffalo, so New York's 28th ranked defense against running backs should be a walk in the park for Gaskin. For the last 2 locks of this lineup, my model is able to find 2 of the 3 receivers that we need, those being Jamison Crowder and Davante Adams. If you've been keeping up with my videos so far this week, you'll notice a trend in these videos. Well, 2 trends really, that Fitzpatrick's value seems to be rather understated in almost every format, and that Jamison Crowder has yet to show any evidence of failure. Over Crowder's 3 games this season, he's had 7 receptions in 2 of them and 8 in the 3rd, recording an average of nearly 19 fantasy points per game. Plus, with Le'Veon Bell out of the picture, Crowder is pretty much the only light in New York at this point, so if they want success, which granted is still up in the air given how much they've been losing so horribly recently, Crowder will be the number 1 target. Adams, on the other hand, is a player that everyone expects to succeed, and although he is the most expensive option in this slate, I agree that Adams will pick up right where he left off with Rodgers. Even Adams himself said he's feeling his best, and that he would have been ready to go last week if the doctors let him play, so Adams is certainly healthy enough for this contest against Tampa Bay. If this synergy between Rodgers and Adams continues, which is likely with Adams garnering 17 targets in week 1, we might be able to expect even 30 fantasy points from this anomaly at wide receiver. Now that we're through with the locks, I'll move on to the lotteries, who are players that combined for the highest overall projection in this lineup, but had a weaker confidence interval compared to the locks, so these guys may be subject to change in top lineups. To begin this section with the 3rd receiver, my model took Devontae Parker. Parker is the clear wide receiver 1 in Miami, and even when he doesn't get many looks from Fitzpatrick, which happened last week against a tough San Francisco defense, Parker is still able to perform, scoring 12 points on just 2 receptions, one of which was a touchdown. This week should be much easier against the Jets. For the tight end, my model recommends Robert Tonyan, the breakout 4th year in Green Bay. Tonyan's share may be overshadowed this week with Adams' return, which is why Tonyan is a lottery, but Tonyan still has been a beast of a tight end as of late, recording a touchdown reception in each of the 3 games that he's played. As for the flex, this position is definitely the most difficult part to discern, as the projections here are right around each other, but as long as you stay below $5,800 in cost, you'll be able to take the Dolphins defense, who have the matchup of the week against New York. But for that flex, the top option would be Ronald Jones, who could be a good choice if Leonard Fournette is inactive, but close seconds include Scotty Miller, Mike Gesicki, and Leonard Fournette himself. That's what my model was able to come up with for the afternoon only slate of games on FanDuel this Sunday, October 18th. This has been Quick Pick Nick, the intersection for sports, data analysis, and speed. Thanks for watching.